Radio, here we go, grade 10s. We are on page 6-8 of the HSE workbook. They've given to us a top view and a front view, and we are drawing it in third angle orthographic projection. We're having to draw a full sectional front view as well as a full sectional right view and the top view of the support, 5 dimensions, hidden detail, title, scale, etc. Alright, let's just look at this quickly. If we put in our cutting plane here, a full sectional front view, that cutting plane will run through here, yes or no? Alright? And the arrows in the end will be on this end. So if we cut through the support, everything on the side of the arrows will fall away. And so if we look at this here, hey, almal kyk op die board. This here is a hole going through. Do you see that? That hidden detail lines up, that hidden detail lines up, that center line lines up. Okay? So we have a hole going through here. Then we have a support part here. This is almost like that cut out there. Do you see that line? Is this corner. And then we come all the way down, and then what we see here is this part here at the bottom. Another hole there. That hidden detail is this. Do you see that yourself? Are you able to figure that out yourself? Okay? So as ons hier sny op die voldeursnee vooraansit, daai snitlyn, dele aan my kant van my pylpunte, want as jy my vooraansit kyk ek van daardie kant af, alles tussen my en die lyn val weg sodat ek kan sien hoe lyk dit daar. So we're going to draw a full sectional front view. We've got our 45s that they've given us. Oh, there's the 45. This is going to be the right view here, just with regards to placing it. Okay? And so if we go now to our page, where can we start this drawing? We know this top corner. We can put this into a glass box almost, and we can get that corner. And it's going to be 10 millimeters away. Nee. So let's move over here to this side. We're going to use what is given, and we're going to start our drawing. Alright, just make sure your paper is lined up, and then we can do our 10 millimeters here. Just in construction. Okay, so this corner here is on this top, on the front view, this corner. And there's a lot of measurements here that I can already start with. So let me just start there, seeing that I like starting with the front view if I have a choice. And in this sense, we have a great choice. Next one is 60. That goes all the way here to 120. Okay, that's the one side. I'm going to just take a moment and just draw those lines in construction here. Okay, then its width, we'll have to add all of these together. So they've given us 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, 15. But what about this distance? Where do I get that distance here? Waar gaan ek daai afstand kry om tot die einde te kom? I'm going to have to use another view. And if you look there, it says radius 20. So that means this last part is also 20. So if I start here, I can now move back. I've got my 20. How many of you are feeling like you're gaining confidence with these drawings? Wie van julle voel ek het klaar selfvertroue, partykeer te veel. Voel julle ook julle groei 'n bietjie in julle selfvertroue? You feel that you are moving forward, right? Alright, so we've got the 20, then we've got a 15, then we have a 10, then we have another 20, and we have another 10, and the last another 20. Okay, so we can use that. Let's draw a couple of construction lines here. So we are just doing what we did right at the beginning. We are creating a grid in construction. Stem jy saam met my? We're just creating a grid, and that's helping you to draw this. And now I can go and I can possibly almost finish this drawing. So we've got the 20, then a 15, then a 10, then it's to the top. So I'm going to draw this in nice and dark. Okay. Here we came down with that 45. Alright, here's a 20 down here. We can draw that in. Step of 20. Then there's a 20 to the left. Alright, this corner here, if it's 10 in one direction and 10 in the other direction, what do we know about that angle? It is at 45. 45 grade. Asseblief my lief. Is nie nodig dat ons twee stry nie. Is nie nodig dat jy met my beklei nie. And then it goes down all the way to the bottom. There's a 15 here on this side. And oh man, I really wish you can keep up. Wie van julle hou by? Mooi. Alright. Are you feeling that you're also drawing a bit quicker than you did 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Do you feel with the confidence you're also able to draw a bit quicker? I hope so. Okay, here we just have to double check how these things are lined up, because we have this line 5 millimeters into it. There's another hidden detail which is just that thickness there. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. So here is the one part. We can draw that up. Okay, and across. Okay, so just drawing the outlines here, and then here's that 5 millimeters. That's an interesting one. 5 millimeters. It goes, it's hidden detail, but it goes up all the way. Just look at that hidden detail on the given question. It becomes now a solid line. It's this inside here that I'm drawing. We're going to see this back part here. That corner there is this line. All right, and then it comes across the base. The radius of from this center to there, and that is going to be the same. It's going to be that 20 and that 10. So the outside is 20 already. There's another 10 here. I want to just smoothen my corners there, and then that I just want to get this line. So there it is, it's that 10 there, from here to there, also another 10. Okay, so we'll do our hidden detail just now, in a moment. This is in line with that center of that arc, so we'll do a hidden center line. Okay, then here on this top, we also have that 10 on this side. And from here also we have a 10, that one we've already drawn in. Okay, so you see, look at what is similar here. We've cut through it. I look from it from the front. I've got this. If I cut from the outside, tip that line. Okay, I'll use another. Is this line? Then I cut through this part. That's that line. Then I cut through air here. There I still have to do the center line. There I am. Then I cut through this first part, which is here, but there's another 5 millimeters here. That goes all the way down to at the bottom. When I cut through this, then there's another piece of air and to the end there. This at the back is this that side here that I see. That angle there is this one. Okay. Yes or no? Yes. Happy. All right. Here we have a center line. Okay, we'll do the hatching in a moment. Maybe let's do it now. All right. You can choose which 45 you choose. I'll just do it this way. Right, make it nice and big. This is a bigger drawing, so your spacing can be a bit bigger. Just as long as it is consistent. Okay. Maak jou spasiering so ietwat groter, want jy wil nie tyd mors met arsering nie. Maar maak seker die spasiering is dieselfde. Okay. If your ruler doesn't have guides like this, you can use these as your spacers. You only show the hatching on the parts where it doesn't cut through air. The moment it cuts through air, there's no lines. There's other rules also, of course, with regards to hatching, which I'll teach you as we go on. But for now, this hatching, only the part. So this hole here, cut through air, nothing there. This is at the back actually. It's that back part there, so you're not going to cut through that as well. Alright, that is our front view. From here we're going to project our top view. Now our top view has got a total of 40. So you're going to make your mark at 40. You're going to have a center there at 20. There's a 5 on this side. There's a 5 on this side. I'm just using the measurements that's given here, that we can now draw across to our 45. Okay, and now we can start. Is it just a plain top view, or do they ask for just a normal top view of this? Okay, so let's start with our circles. Here's our center line. That should line up with all of these. Okay, and then there's a 10 millimeter radius 10. I'm going to see if I can use this one. So if you have a stencil, you can use it also. Make sure these 4 corners line up. Sometimes you struggle to draw such a small circle accurately, and so if you do have a HSE triangle like this one, then it is going to be helpful in drawing that. Okay, now we've drawn our lines up, so it's very easy now to finish your top view. You can do this end. If you've brought this up, this corner up, you can do this end, that end. Copying that front view. Okay, so I'm just drawing with confidence that which is given to me. This is just a plain top view. I get the measurements from projecting it up, or even from what is given to us. Please make sure you draw these outer lines nice and dark so that it's clearly visible. There must be a clear distinction between what is construction lines and what is your outer lines. Okay, the other thing here, of course, is going to be a cutting plane, but we also want to make sure we have our center lines drawn wherever there's an arc. Alright, this one's going to be our cutting plane. Okay, so you can add that in. They did say okay, so with EGD, reading your question is very important. Okay, and I probably haven't spent enough time addressing it to you. So, because in this actual question, it asks us to draw the cutting plane for the sectional right view. Where do they ask us to draw that cutting plane? Did anybody notice? This is the section plane, cutting plane for the front view. Where do they want us to draw the cutting plane for the right view? They give it to us in that question. It's here. Do you see it specified? Did you see that? Okay, so you're going to add it as it's given. Alright, and then label it. This is actually, I've flipped my AA and my BB. This should have been AA. And this, okay. Alright, happy with that? Any questions up to this point? Niemand kwaad vir my nie? Almal by en almal bly? Look how easy it is. Projecting all of this across. Dankie, dank. Thank you very much. And from here, project everything down. And you don't even have to think. You are just going to complete this now with confidence. No stress, no anxiety, no worries. Duidelik eenheid. Eindelijk. Right, if I go here now, if I look from the right hand side, I'm going to look into this entire surface here. Okay, and it's going to go all the way up. And if I look, although there's a curve here, if I look from the right hand side, it is a solid line. So this can go all the way up. This can go all the way up. This corner, or that corner, remember, if I cut on this cutting plane, everything on the right hand side falls away. So this corner here is this line. There's a corner here. Okay. Then the width, sorry, I forgot about that. Center line. Alright, then my hidden detail here, behind there's a corner, so that's hidden detail. Okay, we have going up here on the side, hidden detail, all the way to here on top, but we're going to stop behind that section. Alright, and then the width of this hole here, center line again. I could have just probably extended this one. So these two lines is actually that hole if I look from the right hand side. My accuracy is a bit warped here. This line is that corner going up. This is this side. Remember, if I look at it from the right hand side, do I just draw half of it because this was a full sectional front view? Sometimes learners do that and they just draw this side of the drawing because remember the front half is gone on that view. But you don't draw it that way. You still draw it if it was full and you would have cut it through and looked at the full part. Okay. Because that front part is gone, you don't just draw this part here, you draw still that full face. Okay. Alright. And then the same direction, what do we cut through? Well, we're going to see here on the side, keep the spacing the same, please, angle the same. Okay, so some of the important elements that I want you to remember. Hidden detail. Don't put hidden detail behind hatching. You can, I know maybe I've said it differently in a previous lesson. Don't put hidden detail behind hatching, but keep the center lines. Alright? And then hidden detail, of course, of this part which is not sectioned, that you do show. Make sure your outlines are nice and dark, really stands out. What you still have to remember is these cutting planes, the AA here and the BB. Let me just highlight that for you, please. Don't forget these. And they still have those arrows going with them. And it's the side of the arrows that falls away for you to look at that right view. Same here in the top. It's closest to my eye that falls away to be able to draw this one. And then on this also, you are still required to do your measurements. The dimensions needs to be added. And the title. Here, full sectional front view. And hier sectional right view. Okay? So kom ek opsom dit net gou in Afrikaans. So wanneer ons arsering doen vir verborge detail, dan doen ons dit nie agter die snitlyne nie of die arsering nie, maar onthou nog steeds die senterlyne. Altyd waar daar 'n sirkel is, senterlyne. Okay? En dan maak seker jy sit die snyvlakke in. Dit is die snyvlak vir die deursnee regteraansig. Daai is die snyvlak vir die vol deursnee vooraansig. So daar is die verskil. Hierdie ene word genoem net 'n deursnee aansig, nê? Want hy's mos nie in die middel nie. Maar daai 'n vol deursnee is deur die middel. Okay. So hier as ek dit hier nommer gaan ek skryf, gaan ek sê vol deursnee aansig op AA. Hier gaan ek skryf deursnee regteraansig op BB. Alright, dan moet jy onthou jy maatskrywings by te sit en jy moet nog hier skryf titel, steenstuk, skaal is 1 tot 1 en die simbool. I'll maybe do that just for you as a wrap up. It's going to be the 2 circles. It's third angle orthographic projection. Don't forget the center lines. Again, even in that. Alright. Radio, that is then page 6-8. Now it's your turn.